All right, yeah, we're going.
We're going?
Yeah,
It's go time.
it's go time.
All right. Welcome to the Breezy Boys podcast.
Welcome.
Special guest Spike here with us today.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just lounging back, enjoying his cuddles.
Licking my hand.
Yeah.
That's right. What are we talking about today?
I'm thinking we hop right into our accurate versus non-accurate segment.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So we're going to we had this idea last time, but we wanted to save it for next time, which is now this time.
That's accurate.
And we're gonna do it. So we kind of like pick a movie that like one of us had seen and the other one hadn't, and the person that hasn't seen it is going to kind of like make predictions on the plot based on maybe just like the title and what they've heard and just their limited knowledge of the movie, and the other person will tell them if they're
right or not.
wrong they are. Probably, I don't know. So we were talking The Godfather.
Yeah. I haven't seen The Godfather.
Classic, and kind of one of my favorites, actually. Old school movie.
I just never saw it. I don't even think I've seen chunks of it.
No?
I think it's just
that, like, when I first saw it, because it's a long movie.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just saw like chunks of it before I ever watched like the entire thing, but I feel like I saw enough chunks of it that like it's on TV enough that I had seen the whole movie, just not like
all in one go.
Until I did like sit down and watch it in one go. But anyway, and it's kind of cool though because they like saw like a thing on YouTube. It's the 50th anniversary that the first Godfather came out this year, and so they're like re-releasing it in theaters and
remastering it.
Yeah, and 4K and all that stuff. You can really just see the bullet holes in guys and stuff like that. Yeah, so no spoilers.
So guys are being shot.
Guys. Some guys get shot. Yep.
So that changes everything that I was going to say.
Girls too.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Not just. Not just guys.
So
anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna.
Are we gonna put up a minute timer and I just recap what I know in a minute?
Yeah. You think just a minute or minute and a half?
No, I think a minute.
Minutes long. Okay, I'll pull up a timer. And okay, you have a minute. And see, here's the thing though. There's like 3 movies. Are you just doing one of them, or you're doing like the whole?
Okay, I didn't even know there were 3 movies.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. Yeah.
I figured that there would be 2 for sure, just because it was like a big movie.
They did like 2, like not too far away from each other, but then because they're like based on books, right? And then I'm not actually sure like when the 3rd book was written, but it was like written
after the movies or something.
I'm not sure how much later the 3rd book was written, but it like takes place like a few years later than the other 2. So they spaced out the movies enough that kind of like the time frame checks out, and Al Pacino, who's like is like the main character, he's like much older by the time by the 3rd one, so there's like probably a couple decades or something in between the second and anyway. Do you just want to cover the first one, or?
Yeah, let's just go over the first one.
Maybe we can do the next 2 another time.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah. Okay.
1 minute recap of The Godfather by someone who has never seen it.
Yeah, I guess just like No hints, just
Nope.
go with it.
I'm just gonna go
Okay,
with it.
let's see what you got. Okay,
See
ready?
what I got.
1 minute starting now.
Okay, it opens on an Italian family having dinner around a like table. There
That
is
part's probably not far off.
damn.
There's a lot of Italian families around. Maybe you go and I can like comment later. Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll do a minute and a half because now I'm already at 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. There's 30 seconds. Okay. Go.
Okay, so that happens. Someone gets shot at the dinner table. They start freaking out. They got to go on a vengeance. It's Godfather with a vengeance. The Godfather then like finds the guy at a wedding because I know there's a wedding in it at some point. Finds the guy at the wedding, and then there's like a giant like killing spree at the wedding, and it ends with them in the
wedding massacre.
Yeah, a wedding massacre. And then the movie ends
20 seconds
on a cliffhanger where you don't know if the Godfather is dead.
That's 10 more seconds. Just throw something in there.
There's a dog.
Just a word. Ooh. There's a dog.
There's a dog.
That's kind of interesting. All right. There we
Not
go.
bad.
Okay, so what like do I kind of like tell you how right or wrong? I have to think about it actually. I can't remember like the exact opening scene. I think it opens on a wedding actually. There's like early in the first movie it kind of like starts with the wedding, and there's like ever see people like make fun of it, like you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, right? So yeah, that's like the opening is like the
okay, is that
the daughter's wedding?
So I just had it backwards.
yeah, the wedding, and I think I don't know about the first one, but like throughout the movies, I think there's more than one wedding. I think the third one maybe even opens on a oh no, it doesn't. I don't know.
That's fair.
I'm like trying to keep straight like which one's what. Anyway, so the wedding, yeah, that's a thing. Nobody gets killed at the wedding though. There's a lot of like families sitting around eating food.
Okay.
No one like in the like Godfather's family like gets killed at a table eating food, but there's like other people that like Al Pacino like kills a couple people at a table eating food.
Okay. So 1 for 5.
There is kind of a dog at the end. What was the like the ends with like you're not sure if he's alive or
the cliffhanger.
Whatever, right? So in like the first movie, right, like the Godfather refers to Marlon Brando, and he's like the patriarch, like he's the father and the head of the family. And so they call him the Godfather, and he near the end of the movie, or like at some point in the movie, he kind of like retires and Al Pacino takes over, and now he's the Godfather. So and then like Marlon Brando does die near the end. The movie wouldn't say so much of a cliffhanger, but kind of like ends. There's kind of like, I don't know. I guess it ends kind of resolved. Like Al Pacino takes over. Excuse me, and he just like orders his guys to like kill a bunch of rivals. So they're just like the last like I don't know 10 minutes is just a bunch of people getting shot. So there's not really a wedding massacre. There one of the like sons gets like shot up like a stupid amount of times at like a toll like check stop
Yeah.
thing, right? He's like in his car
Yeah.
and it's all dramatic. And so I don't know. Yeah, you had some pretty good
Yeah. I was pretty
good
on
guesses. And I
on
think there
band.
is a dog with like
Yeah.
Marlon Brando when he like dies.
Yeah.
I think he's like with his grandson and his dog, and he's like playing with his grandson, and then he kind of just like falls down and dies, and the grandson's like, "What's going on?" He's just like a little toddler.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up, right? It's
Okay.
like the grandson doesn't know what's going on, but I think there's a
Weird.
dog there.
Strange.
That was good.
Nice.
I like it. Yeah.
All right. Not too bad.
There's some weddings and a lot of Italian families sitting around a table eating.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
All right.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
And
I'll just keep things rolling here. What I'm going to talk about, let's see. So I was on my way out here, bought myself a Monster energy drink to, like, you know, get me through the morning, get me here. And are the dogs are just being hooligans. Yeah. Bought myself a Monster energy drink, and I like fucked up, and I got a 0 sugar one, right? And just hated it. And like, so here's my thing. Like, if I'm not buying Monster to have like 0 sugar, right? If I just want the caffeine, I'll go drink coffee like the rest of the masses. If I'm like making the choice to put like all this junk in my body, the caffeine and ginseng and taurine and other enes,
yeah,
I want some fucking sugar in there.
I want my goddamn sugar.
Exactly. So there's my
rant.
Anyway.
Your rant on non-sugar energy
Just
drinks.
trying to kill some time there.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
What's next?
Well, you got to do a accurate versus non-accurate.
So I couldn't come up with a movie.
Yeah, you're a pretty big movie buff. You've seen quite a few movies. I'm usually the one that doesn't see a movie.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like something that you'd seen that I hadn't, and I'm sure we could find something, but
there's tons of like YouTube videos I've seen that you haven't.
Okay, we could do that. Yeah, but next time maybe. But one thing I did come up with, bunch of guys at work were like talking about NFTs the one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd heard you mention those letters in that order. One time N followed by F, and then shortly thereafter a T.
It's true.
And I was like, what is this? What do these mean? So if anyone out there doesn't know what that is, you're not alone. So I thought, since I couldn't come up with a movie, it seemed like you kind of knew what an NFT is, and I don't. So I was gonna speculate on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. I'm down for it.
Most of my speculation was like, I wanted to know what it stood for. Because then that would, most likely explain.
Non-fungible token.
That doesn't help me.
Nope.
But so I made a list of like just some guesses that I was like, this could be what it stands for. This is probably yeah. So I'm gonna read this list off.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear them.
And obviously you already
I kind of ruined it on that one.
Yeah, what you said was not on my list, but
yeah.
These are I'm guessing that a few people out there
we can take this out in editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna read this off, and I'm sure someone out there will be like, "Oh, that's what I thought it was."
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, at the top of my list was non-flammable tangerines.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the words, right?
Like, yeah, non.
Yeah.
Feel like a couple of these are non. Oh no, that's my. Oh, I only have 2 nons.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
tangerines that are non-flammable, and I was like, that sounds great. Like, I don't want my tangerines catching fire.
Honestly, I could see tangerines labeled that.
Could be very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to know
To be
that they
honest,
aren't
I'm not much of a
flammable.
tangerine kind of guy, but if I had tangerines, I would probably prefer.
I don't even know if
it
I've
not
had a
be
tangerine.
flammable. What is a tangerine?
I think it's like a nectarine.
That can't be right. That's too easy.
But on a tangent.
But on a tangent, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's just like constantly talking off on like some random tangent. It's just a nectarine.
Yeah. And that's why it's got to be non-flammable. Otherwise, people would be like, God, this fucking tangerine. I'm
Yeah,
going to light this fucker on fire. And anyway.
Throw a match in the gasoline.
Yeah.
Classic Ed Sheeran lyric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you thought it was non-flammable tangerines, we're on the same wavelength. Okay. Next one was national fans of telephones.
Oh.
Which I was like, there's
national football team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of NFT possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. My next one was not for Tyler.
That is pretty accurate.
Yeah. I was like, this could be not for Tyler's, just like Tyler's in general.
I feel like Tyler's are into NFTs.
Maybe because they're not for them.
Yeah.
They're like
you can't tell a Tyler not to do something.
Yeah.
Because a Tyler's just gonna do it.
Exactly. Never fear tropics.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like,
I like that.
If you're like scared of going on a tropical vacation, you pay for an NFT, and it like someone comes to your house and they're like, hey, like tropics are pretty awesome. You shouldn't fear them, and here's why. And they like,
that's true.
Explain it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just essentially a
either
tour
that
guide.
or it's like tropics, like the Flint, Michigan tropics from.
That's what I was thinking when you first said it.
Yeah. You shouldn't fear them either. They're not very.
They're not a great team.
Yeah.
They were aiming for fourth place.
Except for Bacchitis, he's kind of scary, but
yeah.
Non-threatening turtles.
Non-threatening turtles?
Yeah.
That's NTT.
Oh.
Good try though.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how did I have like just like a speech impediment when I was writing that down.
Non-threatening turtles.
It's like 6 years old again and I can't say the TH. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's obviously not that, but turtles are pretty non-threatening, I'd say. They have a shell to like protect themselves. Like they're very defensive. Okay, scratch that one. Sorry about that. Now first tier. It's like when you're really good at something and you're like,
I just NFT'd that.
Yeah. You get an NFT when you're like,
now
first, I'm in the first tier. Yeah.
Damn.
Exactly.
I like that.
Like if you I don't know, if like you're in the Boy Scouts and you get like a badge for like tying knots. You're like a first tier knot tire. And you get an NFT.
I like it.
The badge is an NFT. I don't know.
It sounds like a Scouts badge. Like the NFT badge. And it's like you got first.
Maybe you get
first
all
tier
the
in
other
something.
Badges.
And then you get the NFT badge.
The now first tier badge.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Non-5.2. In reference to 1.5.2, which is the max rank in Halo 5. So non-5.2 is everyone
me
that is not max rank in Halo 5.
So me.
Yeah.
So I'm
all you non-5.2s out there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
North Fist territories.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm not really sure what that would be. I just like
That sounds like
it almost rhymed.
like a boxing,
like a fight club.
Yeah, fight club in the northern
Northwest.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
North Fist territory.
Have you ever seen slap boxing?
No.
So it's a big thing on YouTube where they
just slap each other.
Yeah, you take rounds of slapping.
Take turns?
Yeah.
Like going back and you're like trying to knock the person out. Yep. I have seen that. Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's
insane.
Yeah. And there's an American league now. We could join. It's the
like weirdest combination of like manly but not manly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like really macho but kind of.
Oh, totally.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's a lot. But yeah.
Coming up next episode, we're gonna enter the
slap boxing competition. Just me and you slapping each other.
It's just gonna be a whole episode of us trading slaps until someone passes out.
Yeah,
gets knocked out. Yeah. Where like, if you're trying to render someone unconscious, where do you think like the best place to slap them is?
Well, there's
like,
rules.
Okay. There's got to be like technique to this, though.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't club somebody, so it has to be open hand. Yeah. You can't hit him in the ear. You have to hit him in the cheek.
Oh, yeah. That hurts. You like
most likely
in the ear and kind of just
you probably want to get
the jaw.
Yeah, right? On the jaw.
Can you uppercut? Just
I think that's probably illegal. And you can only pivot to swing. You can't like step into it. You can only pivot, which is fair.
Like strap your feet to the ground or something like that, like bolt you down, and then when you like get knocked out, you just like your feet are still attached to the ground, but you're just like in this weird position. I like that.
That'd be good.
There's some great possibilities here. Yeah.
Just to be clear, we're not entering a.
Can you straight up just like on the forehead? Yeah. Okay. And my last one, normally friendly terrorists, which is like they're like kind of like a group of terrorists, but like only really in their spare time.
Yeah,
like
just
normally
like once in a
pretty
blue
friendly, but yeah, but they're like, I've got jobs and a wife and kids, and you know I got stuff to do, but I like to terrorize sometimes. So
that sounds like most internet trolls.
I like to blow shit up every now and then. Like normally friendly, but something just pushed me over the edge, and yeah. Anyway, that's the end of my predictions.
So yeah, NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Fungible.
So you got one word right on two of them.
Mean? That sounds made up. I don't believe that's a word.
I can't look up the definition right now.
Do you want me to, or can we? It's not that important.
Yeah. They're not here to learn.
No. I'm not either. That's not my contract.
No.
I don't need to know what fungible means.
But I think it's like you can track ownership of so non-fungible means like not fungible.
Good guess.
Fungible, I'm thinking
that's good though, because like sometimes it's like unclear. Like non's pretty straightforward, but you know how like in can kind of be like confusing, like inconceivable, which is like not conceivable, but then there's ingenious, which is like very, very genius. English is stupid. What a dumb garbage language.
This is horseshit.
It is. There's like no rules. They're like I before E except after C.
Except in Budweiser.
But then there's all of these. They're like, here's a list of like exceptions to that, and it's like, well, it's not even
a rule,
like a fucking rule. Then it's just like
the English language has taught me rules are meant to be broken.
51% of the time, it's like this, but then there's dumb language.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All learn I don't know.
It's horseshit.
Yeah. So I'll just learn Klingon or something. Anyway, sorry.
We could learn the language I made.
Oh yeah.
It's not spoken though.
We could
come up with sounds.
It's written, and
it's
we
written.
just have to.
You can read and write in it.
Yeah.
And I fixed
Spoken
it so
is
that
the
there's
next.
actually a letter for Q now. Because I
Do we
decided
need a letter for Q?
I for the longest time said no. Same with
like Q.
Actually, I don't use a K in my alphabet. It's just a C because you can get away with that.
Yeah. Or like kind of inversely, you could say like you use. But like you kind of just have like a letter for that like hard like cuss sound or whatever, right? But then you have like a letter for like S's, right? Whereas like C can kind of be both. When really like here's my other thing. C is just a useless letter in the English language. There's nothing you can't do with a C that you can't use a K or an S for. That right, like sound wise. The only thing is like when you pair it with an H and you get cha, but you could just have a separate letter for that. Right?
That's
like
true.
C could just be cha. And then like everything else, like Curtis could be spelt with a K, and like
I actually know a Curtis who spells his name with a K.
Could be S. Yeah. Like C's a dumb letter.
And his last name also starts with a K. His middle name doesn't.
That's
it would be
that
worrying.
Was immediately gonna be my next question.
That was like my first question when I met him.
Yeah.
I was like, is your middle name also okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah.
Your parents either like hate you or
hate other
or just
people.
Like really didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like you take that baby like home and like 2 days later you're like looking at the birth certificate and you're like, fuck.
Oh shit.
God damn it. We need to change this quickly. Just remove your middle name. Like,
yeah.
Oh, do they have a middle name now?
No. But yeah, NFT. It started out as like, from my knowledge, it like a way for artists to share digital art, and then like you can set up your NFT so that anytime someone sells it after like if it goes up for auction or whatever, someone buys your NFT, if they go to sell it, you can set it up so that you get a percentage of that sale. So like it's really nice for artists because that way somebody can't buy up something from them for cheap and then sell it for like $1 million. They'll at least get a percentage of it.
Yeah.
So that's why like a lot of artists started gravitating towards it. But now, like the big NFTs are all AI generated, so it's not even going towards artists.
AI taking over the art world.
Yeah, honestly,
cold, calculated, emotionless.
Yeah, honestly,
apathetic art.
Yeah, without meaning behind it. Like it's weird.
Yeah, no passion and
no passion.
Sad and. I don't know. Yeah, as well. Guy I worked with was like showing me the NFT he just bought, and it was like handsome Squidward. You know, like that SpongeBob episode where like Squidward gets like something happens to his face and his face gets like fucked up, and they like try to repair it, and they make him like
super handsome.
Yeah, like really hunky, right? But then this one was like later in the episode when he's like, oh, this is like too much, like people are paying all this attention to me and I can't handle the like fame and whatever, which was a good message for kids. Shout out to SpongeBob for anyway. This one was like when he like tries to go back, and because like if you've ever watched a cartoon, you know that like you like do something and like something happens, the best way to reverse it is you just like repeat that process. Yeah Which is something I live by. But anyway, so they like slam his face in the door a bunch of times, like trying to change him back to normal, and he just gets like more gorgeous. So this was like, it was like the second level of gorgeous was this like handsome Squidward, not the first handsome Squidward, the like even more
handsome
hunky
one.
Handsome Squidward.
That's fair. I don't know, like that's
anyway,
but like that's also like the artist isn't who made that?
It's just from SpongeBob.
It's from SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's not an original.
And the cartoonist who made it,
and it was
probably
kind of
has
just like
no
looking like
touch.
8-bit, like kind of whatever, digital and whatever. But there was, but it's makes you money, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. If I had a following and I could do an NFT, I probably would, because I do think it is like the future for some digital art.
Yeah.
But I think it's not being used in the way that I think NFT should be. But I mean, I also know very little about it.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make one of like your high school grad photo.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Looking fine.
Looking fine. Got the mullet, got the stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we doing for time?
That's a good question. Give me 1 second to check.
Yeah. Had to fire another producer.
We're at 30 minutes.
Sweet. All right. What do you want to do? What do you want to move on to? What do you want to talk about? What's been on your mind? What ails you?
What ails me? I'm like kind of stressed about school right now. Like,
tell me about that.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
There's a lot of homework, and I feel like I'm not grasping all the concepts.
It's tough because you kind of like spread yourself out to like multiple classes, right?
Yeah.
And you're not just like trying to learn one concept at one time that you can really like dedicate yourself to. Like you got to divide your time up, right? So it's like, okay, like I gotta try and learn this, but like I have, maybe 3 or 4 other classes that I'm trying to also learn.
Oh, so, totally.
Yeah, it's hard to grasp everything at the same rate, and I always found like when I was going through school, you kind of like certain classes you were like grasping a little bit better than others, and a lot of times what I ended up doing, which probably wasn't like the best situation, but probably a lot of people end up doing this, is like the ones that were like you were having a little bit of an easier time in, you try to just like coast through and like focus on what's holding you back, but then like you get to a point where that just drags you down overall.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, it's not
it's tough. And like for me right now, like I'm in a typography class.
What's that?
So it's like fonts and typefaces.
Oh, okay, cool.
So learning how to use them properly, the history of them,
the history
and
of fonts,
how to like, just use them properly in posters, documents, books, like, and
I'm a very, I never go like fancy with font. I'm very like, my mind's very like, what's the word? Just looking for function and like not aesthetic really. I usually just go with like a very cubic font, just straight, sharp edges and whatever. Just I don't take the time to go for something like really fancy, but that's where that's obviously my science background and you have the artistic background, so that's...
No, but I follow into the same thing. Just like I like that like more blocky look.
It's just like functional, and you're like, this is good.
You get function over form, which is the Bauhaus movement. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
So it's something I learned.
Bauhaus movement.
Bauhaus.
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 Is that like Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Different guy. Same concept.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Function over form is essentially what it means. Yeah. Is that whatever the function of it is should dictate more than like the form of it. So like the aesthetics. So your function should be first and then your aesthetics.
Yeah.
So and that's like a big design theory concept. And actually, I'm considering making like a YouTube video, like intro to the Bauhaus movement, because I think one, it
Nice.
would be good for me to like properly like learn about it, and then do like essentially a presentation on it.
Mm-hmm.
But probably just like post it on YouTube or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So I have that. I have a concept visualization course, which is like the whole process of coming up with an idea and like seeing it from the beginning and like expanding and refining the idea as many times as you can.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks because that class you have to come up with 25 to 30 like samples each week for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like hope that one of them's good, and then you got to refine it and submit it.
Yeah.
And then you're marked on the process. You're not marked on your final.
The end result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end, you have to make a process document, which is essentially like pictures and write-ups of your entire process from start to finish. And then that's what you're marked on.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks because you can't, like, if you come up with a good idea, you have to like come up with bullshit to just like fill the empty spots. Or you've exhausted everything and you still, well, I mean, you can just keep doing more.
Yeah.
But like, if you can't come up with something good, like,
yeah,
you're kind of stuck, right?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it's that's tough, man. It's
I'm not like trying to get like sympathy or anything. I enjoy it still.
Yeah.
But
post-secondary school can kind of be a lot of the weird thing is like everyone's always like high school, like we got to prepare you for the real world, and like post-secondary school, like this is what the real world looks like, and then you get out into the real world and you're like, this is not what you said.
Yeah.
Like nobody's prepared for this, and like yeah, this is not, I don't know. Anyway, so but yeah, it is interesting. My most difficult semester was in my second year. And I remember just how brutal that was. I was so I was taking 5 classes. I had 2 math classes and 3 physics classes. So like no like electives or like options, right? It was all just like core material. And I had like 3 labs.
Ooh.
That like I think like 2 of them rotated every week, but then like, or like every second week, like it was this one, and then like next week it was this one. But the other one was like every week. So it was like every day of the week I had like something due, right? So like it's like go to class and then like you go home that night and you like get stuff done for like tomorrow, right? It's like, hey, I have this due tomorrow. And then like the next day it's like the same thing, this due. And then you get to the end of your week and you're like, oh, it's awesome, I got it all done. But then you're like, wait, I have to like start over because I have like this due again, right? It was like a lot of kind of like the same stuff due every week, especially with the lab reports. And like you had to do a pre-lab, you had to get prepared for the lab, and then your lab was on this day. And then you had to write a lab report. So it was like, you know, one day I'm like preparing for the lab, the next day I'm doing the lab, the day after I'm maybe like preparing for the next lab, and then like doing that lab that day after. And then like then through like the course of the week, I have to like do the lab report and finish it by the next lab, and also do the next like pre-lab. And every week was kind of like trying to figure out like which class I could afford to like not get something done in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can either like get a lot of this stuff like half done, or I can kind of like neglect something so I can get the rest of it done.
Totally.
And it was that was brutal. But like that's when I realized I was not as smart as I thought I was. Because there were definitely There were people that didn't seem to have a problem with it, and like even I knew a girl who she was a dual major. She was taking like physics, like stuff that I was, but she was also taking biology, and she
Oh,
worked like a part-time job. And I was like, you like, I don't think you sleep. Like, I don't
yeah.
know how you can do that, but I don't know. Some people can just do that, and
That's crazy. Yeah. See, I'm
I
in
I
I'm
couldn't.
in 3 classes.
Yeah.
Like,
Even, but I mean, that's not easy. Like, I
yeah.
had a couple semesters where I had 3 classes, and even like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It just stacks up.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
yeah. Especially when it's like when you're doing tons of drawing and you're trying to like push your creative self, like
it's hard to
that's
force that
it's hard to
in
force.
a dedeadline type
Yeah.
fashion, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess is the whole point of like going to design school is getting used to being
Because if you do
working
that
in a
for a job,
creative
yeah, yeah,
fashion with deadlines.
yeah, yeah, that's you do learn how to work with a deadline pretty good, but like since like I've been in the so-called real world, I haven't had. It probably depends on what you work in, obviously, but like I haven't had any deadlines quite to the brutality that I experienced in school, right? But I don't know if you work in law or something like that, pretty
Yeah.
heavy. If you're a doctor or some shit like that,
Yeah.
that's probably a
Deadlines are
different case. So
probably pretty.
they kind of just prepare you for that, and if you use it, great. If you don't, whatever. At
Yeah.
least you have the skill.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's not. I like in my later years, I was able to like take more electives, like options, right?
Yeah.
More and more, and that was pretty sweet because like I would um I could like get some classes sometimes that were like no homework, and it was just like maybe 1 or 2 midterms and a final exam,
Hmm.
and I was like, this is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
But it's like a double-edged sword. Like it's good as long as you're prepared for those exams.
Hmm.
Um, and like there's no homework, but once the exam comes around, like you better know your shit.
Oh, totally.
But with those classes, I would pick ones that I kind of like enjoyed and didn't really have trouble doing. So
Yeah, yeah, paying attention
it
to.
was, yeah, like one was like a Greek mythology class, and
Oh,
I was like,
totally.
this is cool. I love this stuff. So that was just like 2 midterms and a final, and I think the first midterm I got first midterm I got like 100% on, I think. And second one I got like 90 something, like I only got a couple, and then like the final I did really good too. So like I had no problem preparing for that, and not doing homework saved me so much time with my other classes.
Oh, totally.
So those were sick. Try to with, I don't know, arts kind of like can be pretty specific, I guess, but if like,
yeah, I have to take electives at some point.
yeah,
So I'm
try
gonna
try to find some I would recommend like try to find some stuff outside of what
yeah.
you're doing.
Oh, totally.
Because you might really enjoy it. Like some of my favorite classes were had absolutely nothing to do with what I was there to learn, which maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Hey, at least you took them,
got
right?
some really good enjoyment out of those. So
Yeah.
that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we close it out with something? How are we?
I lost my mouse.
Oh, that's okay.
Um,
That's okay.
yeah. No, I think we can probably close it out there. We're
Yeah.
sitting around 45 minutes.
Just
A little bit of a shorter episode,
we'll just
but
shut
hey,
it down. Yeah. Yeah. I
we
feel
had
like
lots of
we're
tech
never
difficulties today.
yeah. I feel like we're never like prepared to like end, right? Like we're always just like, oh, let's see how we are for time, and then we just like end. I feel like I don't have like cool down time, and then I don't know, we end very abruptly, but
Yeah.
that's kind of maybe that's the beauty of it.
That's kind of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, all
You-
right.
you-
See you guys.
Bye.